So, hello, this is Tom Christiano for the Chelmsford News, and I'm here with my good friend Joe Reddy of Reddy Real Estate. How are you, Joe?
Good, good. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks a lot. And one reason we're here at the new Friendship Park is because Joe made a nice sponsorship contribution to the Friendship Park. So thank you so much for doing that, Joe.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure to do it. So,
did you grow up near here and play in Robertsfield?
When I was a kid, I grew up in the Hitching Coast area off of Abbott Lane, and so I would bike down Westford Street, and I would get all my penny candy at the store down the road over here, and we used to play it at this park all the time, and so we have a lot of connection. My brother, who did his Eagle Scout project, he had built a gateway for the old park, and I had actually built the Skaters Pavilion actually behind the fire station over here for my Eagle Scout project. Unfortunately, it didn't stand the test of the weather over a 10, 15-year period, so they ended up taking it down. But
I remember it though.
It was great. It was a nice little covered skating pavilion. It was really, really cool.
It was really cool, yeah. So, I did a show during a Winterfest many years ago. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Where we did a videotaping over there. That was nice.
Yeah.
A long time ago. Boy, that was maybe 15 years ago or something. I don't know. So you've been coming to the Robertsfield your whole life, right? Because you live nearby.
I have, and this is actually, if you've lived in town and you live in this area, you understand what a treasure trove this is for, especially the Hitching Post area. So everybody up off of Old Westford Street and anybody off of Westford Street, all the way heading back. There's hundreds of houses in that neighborhood, and they utilize this park. And the other thing about this park is that it's a full-time park for people that have kids of all ages. So you don't have to necessarily wait for school hours to be out. It's really accessible at all hours. So it's nice for parents and for families. And whenever I'm doing real estate, because I do real estate, I use this as really the selling point for selling houses here in Chelmsford. And when I tell people to come by and look at this park, it usually is what gets the deal done. So it's really special that the whole committee's put together the time and effort to really revamp this. And I know my family was 100% behind doing it, just because we understand the value that goes into it. So.
Yes, and you're right about the park being of value to all the homeowners in Chelmsford. I think this is going to be the best park for young children, especially in the entire town, once this is finished. You see all the equipment we have here, Joe?
It's really amazing. And one of the things that my father, Dennis Reddy, always used to say was, if you want to have good kids, keep them busy doing good things. And so, a park like this gets people out, keeps them recreationally active. I know you bike a lot, but for young kids to have them actually running around and not necessarily sitting behind a video game, I think that means a lot to the community. So this will be really special. And the other piece that I've really liked about what the committee has done is they've made it handicap accessible for those of all abilities. So it's really, I think it's going to be special.
And speaking of children, you have 4 children, right, Joe?
I do. So, I may be the biggest user of the park, so my donation may actually be undersized in comparison to the amount of use that I would get out of it. But it really is a special place. My oldest is 7 years old, Ashley. I have a 5-year-old son, Ryan, and then I have twin 3-year-olds, Mary and Andrew. And so, this is really going to meet all of their needs, and, they'll have a lot of fun here. And I think they were a little sad when it came down because they didn't know that it was being replaced necessarily, but I think it'll be fun. And I purchased some bricks as well on top of donating, and hopefully those will last for years to come, so that they can cherish those memories for their kids. So
I think it's going to be wonderful. Your children are going to love it. So are you. I think if you bring them here, and your wife, Amy is your wife's name? Right?
Amy is my wife, and she is a phenomenal person, and we call her the chaos coordinator. As I was telling you, trying to corral 4 kids is really an interesting experience if you haven't done it. But this is a place that she does come, and she really likes it because it's accessible all throughout the day. I do like Barney Park. We spend a lot of time up there in North Chelmsford as well. But between those 2 parks, those are really the key to Chelmsford. So
it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to open, I think, somewhere around June 23rd is the grand opening of 2018. So I can't wait to see you and your children here sometime playing. I'll stop by once in a while. I maybe play myself. I went down the slide the other day just to test it out. I loved it.
Did
It's
you feel
fantastic.
like a kid again?
Yeah, it was amazing, and I videotaped it too. but I'm a little bit embarrassed to post it on the Chelmsford News page
Okay.
or your page right now, because it is a little bit. I called myself. Well, I won't say the name I used to me, but I was like joking with my name and everything. But it's a great park, and everybody who helped out. You know, this past weekend was the volunteers coming here to help build it. Over 50 were there in the morning alone. 50 volunteers. It's amazing how our community came together for this.
I think that's what exemplifies Chelmsford is people's ability to step up and volunteer. I mean, you've been a big volunteer in the community for a long time, and I know you host a lot of things, but you know, to see people come out and actually get active in helping build the park, and you know, I've really just been blown away by every aspect of this, including the fact that you know, we didn't just take CPC money. We took CPC money, but we're working towards, you know, raising money, and I know that the committee's made an effort towards that, which just I think speaks volumes that, you know, it really is a full community effort all across the board. So it's very special.
Yeah, the committee has helped raise over $80,000 so far.
And
so
that's impressive. It
it's
really
impressive because they could have just said, "Oh, we'll use the community preservation funds and not worry about it." But I know that committee is working so hard, and all the contributors like yourself deserve a lot of credit for pitching in, and all those who bought bricks. It's just an amazing community effort. I love it when the community gets together like this, you know.
Well, it's a pleasure for me. I mean, personally, just because I have so many connections to here. It's a very special park, and not just me, but my family and my friends. They all, you know, have enjoyed years of enjoyment here. So to give back is really, I think, just a very special opportunity, and I didn't want to miss out on it. So.
And with your 4 children, I was talking to you before about, I don't know how you have time to do everything you're doing, Joe, because you have 4 children and your wife, Amy, but you have a real estate business. You have your show here now, it's called Ready Real Estate.
Yep, Ready Real Estate.
A lot of people can see the sign right in Chelmsford Center,
Yep.
on Chelmsford Street.
Yep.
So how's that going?
It's going well. Unfortunately, I have to feed 4 kids somehow. So I wish I could be with them every second of the day. But my wife is a great caretaker of them. She does work as a nurse, but she works Brigham and Women's 2 days a week. And you know, the rest of the time I'm out, you know, really trying to help people sell their real estate. And I feel like I provide a good community value to them because I understand Chelmsford and really the ins and outs. So you know, you can buy a ranch anywhere. Why do you want to buy it in Chelmsford? So when people come to me, it's really about what does the community have to offer? What are the features and benefits? And you know, if you start to go through everything from the parades to the Center for the Arts to you know, our schools and how, you know, all the programs they do. I had Al Thomas on Town Talk TV show, and he just talked about just how wonderful the kids are there. And those are the kind of things that I try to highlight whenever I do real estate. And that's really kind of, I think, a special uniqueness to our company that we offer. But you know, it's a great business. I think everybody at some point will deal with real estate in some capacity, whether they're renting, buying, selling. You know, you got to live somewhere, and I think we're a good change agent for people that are, you know, trying to get into this community and understand really what their value add is. So.
And it's called Ready Real Estate. You're the broker there, right? The main person.
Yep. So
there?
I actually founded Ready Real Estate. My father.
How many years ago was that?
I started in 2010, so we've been around almost 8 years now. My father, Dennis, and my mother, Donna, and my uncle Bernie were all realtors at another operation, and they came over when I started it. And so it was really the 4 of us in the beginning, and then we've grown from there. So we have over 12 agents now that work in the operation, and they all have some aspect to Chelmsford or connected into Chelmsford somehow. And you know, it's just been a really fun operation to run, and very glad that I did it. I've got a lot of entrepreneurial spirits, as you know. I have another business up in Vinyl Square, the Vinyl Square Craft Beer House and Premium Liquors, and that's been great because one of my top agents, Lisa Pantuso, her husband, Kenny Pantuso, is the full-time manager of the store there. And so he runs it full-time, and he does a phenomenal job. And if you talk to anybody in the North Chelmsford area or anybody that's shopped at the store, the customer service is beyond exceptional. And that's really what we've strived for, is to try to be a great community place where people can come in and get good answers and selections and things of that nature.
So you still have delivery out of that store?
We still have delivery, yep. So people can go and go online.
They could just call to go online?
They got to go online through
online.
It's through a service called drizzly.com, and the reason we do that is because they do additional background checks on licenses and stuff, and you know, it's only for people 21 years or older, so you know, we're not interested in dealing with anybody under that age, obviously. And I did some sponsorship of the after prom breakfast because I think it's important that kids be kids. When you reach the age of 21, you certainly can look into that and what we do there. But
yes, it's right in Vinyl Square you mentioned, right? The craft beer and the wine shop.
And we specialize in bringing in craft beer that most people don't have. We belong to the Craft Brewers Guild, so we get a lot of small breweries that wouldn't otherwise be coming into stores. And the reason that they want to come to us is because we sell such a plethora of craft beer that they know that they will get really that demographic of buyer that will be able to move it. Because in the world of beer, you worry about it going out of code. So we've been very good at being able to move product that maybe a larger store wouldn't necessarily have the time to focus on, and it might go out of code. So
what does that mean, going out of code?
Well, beer is only good for a certain period of time. No different than milk, right? Like if you have milk that's expired, it's no good, right? So you don't want beer.
So beer is the same, because I have beer that's been sitting around a long time.
Yeah, well, so that's it's one of the reasons why we have almost 20 display coolers in our store, and we do that specifically so that we can keep the product fresh. People want to come in, they want to drink it cold. So a lot of times,
yeah, you have nice coolers.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see the craft beer on the shelves, and so if somebody wants kind of that immediate gratification, being able to come to our store where we have so many display coolers, they can grab it right out of the cooler cold. So it's been great. I've really I'm happy that we did the venture, and I think it's really transformed Vinyl Square as a whole. I think which was my ultimate mission, because at the time that building was very dilapidated. I had lived in Scotty Hollow in North Chelmsford, so I knew the area very well, and I used to drive by it all the time. I said, you know what, the one thing that would survive there would be a liquor store, and I think if it could be brought in there, then it should. And
is it going well, Joe, by the way? It's been 2 years
it's been going well. Our sales have grown month over month since we started. So
really? That's fantastic.
Yeah, and I think part of it has just been Kenny's great community spirit. He's part of the Vinyl Square Revitalization Committee, and I think he really cares about what happens in the area, and he's been a good community partner to be partied with. So we're really very happy with how things are going.
Wonderful. So the real estate's going well. Your company's doing well.
Real estate's going well.
The craft beer and wine shop is going well in Vinyl Square.
Going very well, yes.
And not only do you do that, but you also have a group on Facebook called Chelmsford Town Talk.
Yep.
With thousands of members. How's that going, Joe?
It's going well. So as you know, Dennis started the TV show Town Talk many years ago, and I've taken it over. And the reason that I continue to run it is I think it's a good community service to be able to give people a platform and an opportunity, regardless of who they are. Our show is very ecumenical, I guess is probably the best way to describe it. It's not about me, it's really about our guests and being able to get their message and platform out to the community. So we usually have, a local politician, nonprofit, and a business come on and talk about what they're doing in the community that's relevant to Chelmsford. And the Facebook platform is really kind of an opportunity to allow people to kind of do the same thing, but maybe on a smaller level. I know you run a similar site, and yours is phenomenally run, and I know you do a great job. So, if I were to try to do it, it'd be big shoes to fill. But no, really, we've had it going, but we've had a lot of members recently that have been a part of it, and I think it's been good for people to discuss issues that are taking place in the town. I wish people were a little bit more neighborly. Just because it's online and people feel like they're behind a screen and it's not as personal. But I do think it gives an opportunity for people to understand what's happening in the community and be informed. So often you go to say a planning board meeting or something where somebody goes, I didn't even know that was happening. And so hopefully the online gives people an idea of what's happening. That doesn't mean that it'll necessarily change the outcome, but I do think it's important that people are not blindsided by things that are taking place in our community, regardless of what the project may be. So
yes. And your sister Karen helps you run that.
Yeah,
right?
so Karen Utek, she's my sister. She helps moderate. She's a lot more technology savvy than I am. So, and she's Johnny on the spot when it comes to trying to get rid of any sort of negative, not comments necessarily, but any sort of profanity or whatever may take place. And
I don't allow that at all on my site.
It's a full-time job just trying to clean up those sites and keep them clean, and that's important because I think when you're moving into the town and you might Google Chelmsford and Chelmsford News comes up and you go on it, and it really is kind of showcasing what people think and how people act within the town, and so you got a great job. I'm a part of a couple of other boards that are in other towns, and they've kind of gone awry, and it really doesn't give the town a good light. So, you know, we try to give it the best that we can.
Thank you, and we all do, and we appreciate your efforts, Joe, contributing here with all you do for the town and your talk show, the webpage. People don't realize how much work goes into those websites, the Facebook groups. So thank you for all you're doing, your sponsorship contribution. That's the reason we're here today, to talk about that and Friendship Month. So thank you very much, Joe. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, and I hope this inspires others. Like, please step up, please donate. The committee works so hard, and you know, Bill Askenburg is just one of many, but he really has spearheaded a lot of this and deserves a huge amount of credit. But please step up. They could really use your help and your effort, even if it's small as getting a brick or maybe helping to just come assemble a piece of equipment. Whatever it might have been throughout the process, it would be helpful.
That's for sure. I agree totally. Thank you so much, Joe.
You're welcome. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you very much.